Hey there, my lovelies on Instagram. It's so good to be here with you. I'm Donna Hoffman, and it is a delish moment here for us to see you yet again at 4 p.m. on a Tuesday. And hello there to you, my gorgeous peeps on Facebook. You guys are looking good too. I'm Donna Hoffman, and it's so good to be here with you for a Facebook Live and an Instagram Live. This is the last one that we're doing for a while. I know I'm going to miss you guys too, but it is the last one we're going to do for you for a while. Not because I don't love you, not because I don't want to be of service to you. I do, and I do, but we have so much going on in our luxury design company and so much going on in my online coaching with the designers that I'm training and coaching in their businesses that we had to look at ways where I could just not be quite so overworked and quite so stressed. And the stress of all the overwork was starting to wear me out a little bit. So I know you'll understand when I say need a little bit of a break. So let's talk about what we're talking about today. We've got some good stuff, juicy stuff for you. And this is kind of a sticky, touchy topic, which is why I want to do it for you, because I love you. What do you do as a designer when you are not agreeing with your client's design aesthetic? And what do you do as a client if a designer, your designer, is suggesting something that you're not agreeing with? What do you do? Okay, let's back it up. First and foremost, it's super important that you hire well and vet well. And designers, you need to vet too. It's not just about clients deciding if they want to take you into their project. Designers, you have to decide, do I want to take on this project? Do I agree with this aesthetic? Do I like this aesthetic? Do I resonate with this aesthetic? If the answer is no, no, and no, then you need to respectfully recuse yourself and say to a client, you know, I get where you want to go. You have beautiful taste. I just don't think I'm the right designer for you. I tend to do a lot of work in blah as opposed to blah. So it's really a wonderful thing to be able to honestly tell a client, I don't think we're a fit. It has nothing to do with how wonderful you are. Not an easy conversation, but you're actually doing a client, a prospective client, a favor by telling them I'm not the right designer for you. And clients, if you are hearing a designer say that to you, don't take it personally. Somebody is helping you dodge a bullet. You don't want to hire a designer who loves modern if you're uber traditional, right? You don't want to hire someone to do, I don't know, beachy casual if they're, glammy glam with a side order of glam, right? So you need to make sure that you're hiring well and vetting well, deciding who is right for my project, who is right for this. But next, what do you do if you've already signed into a project as a designer? What do you do if you signed in as a client? And the more you work together, you're finding you're not always in agreement. Well, I think the best thing to do for designers is you explain the logic of what you are suggesting. For example, I had a client who really wanted to do a white frame on a piece of white mixed media artwork in her library. Looked like a total miss to me in that frame color because nothing else in that library of hers was uber white. Things were creamy or tea stained, a little bit of blush. It was very, very warm. It wasn't this vibrant white, white, white kind of palette. The client was really, she wanted it. She was talking to some friends. They thought it would be a great idea. So I didn't say anything other than to say, okay, listen, if we were to do that, here's the fabric story for your study. So if you look at your fabric story for your study against this, it happened to be in an art frame store. I said, here's an example of a piece of artwork that has a lot of white in it with a white frame. And if you look at this, logically, I don't see it fitting into your library, your beautiful library. If you feel you absolutely have to have it, you love it, love it, love it, this is what I'll do. I will band-aid it by adding XYZ over here and pulling in a little more white. So when she saw the logic, that it's not that it was a bad piece of artwork, it just wasn't, that artwork in that frame didn't make sense in that space. When I showed it to her logically, she got it. So designers, if you find that your client is asking you to do something that you don't agree with, it's up to you as the design expert, as the design authority, to be able to coach and educate your client to understand why you are recommending what you're recommending. Design is highly strategic. And it's also an additive sport. The more you add up these ingredients, the more you get something at the end, right? So by explaining what something will accomplish in a space, good or bad, you can help include your client in the design logic that's there. It's not about judging the choice. It's not about judging the client. It's about helping them to understand the logic, the strategy at play. Now, you as a client, if a designer is suggesting something to you that you don't like, you need to say, no, I don't care for that. Or first, okay, well, I don't really love that, but can you tell me why you're suggesting it? What's your thinking? And then dialogue about what you're looking for and say to the designer, how can you help me get there? This is the feeling that I'm looking for. So it's about dialoguing. It's not about judging. It's not about, rolling your eyes and running away, that sort of thing, right? And then at the end of the day, designers, if your client really wants to do something aesthetically that you really don't agree with, guess what? It's your client's home. It's their bat, it's their ball. You know what you say? Got it. This is how we do it. If this is going to make you happy, then this is what we do. Now, if on installation day, your client then comes back to you and looks at it and says, I don't really like it, that's when you can say, I understand. Not I agree, I understand, which is why I had recommended Would you like to redo it? Would you like to make a new choice? Right? And just stay dispassionate and just keep talking through the ramifications of here's the choice, here's the strategy, what is the next choice? What is the next recommendation, right? So I think where things get really dicey, guys, is when clients start to bring more design voices into a project. Their mother-in-law, their brother, their best friend, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. If you as a client can't make a decision and you have to keep bringing in more and more and more voices to work with you and your designer, you're going to muddy up the waters, because those other individuals that you're pulling in, they don't have the context of what's happening in your total home or the total room. They don't have the design training and skill set to be able to have the vision of what a designer, professional designer, is creating for you. And it's only going to end, these people are only advising you based upon their design fingerprint, what makes them tick in design, not you. So now your designer has to design for you, as well as the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, and your mother-in-law, and your brother-in-law, and blah, 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 blah. So you're really muddying the waters, you're hurting your efficiency, you're driving up your billings. So you need to be clear with yourself as a design client, am I able to make decisions on my own, or with my spouse and me, or my significant other and me? Can I make these decisions if I'm led through something, or am I going to need a chorus of other voices to help me? And I think when you muddy the waters as a client, you will, again, make your life harder, as well as I think you'll start to drive your designer crazy as well. Designers, what do you do when clients start to bring in other voices? Not a thing. You have to be respectful. It's your client's home. They want to bring in the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. I think you need to just be still, be centered, be clear in what you know is optimal and what works. And you have to let the client go through the process they need to go through. And then you speak up and say, well, here's why I disagree with Uncle Joe, or here's why I disagree with blah, blah, blah. And again, you lean into design strategy and you speak in terms of rhythm, line, what's happening in the space, what's being accomplished in the space. Now, are there extreme versions of this, these scenarios where maybe you have to have an offline conversation with a client saying, listen, this isn't how we work. Maybe we shouldn't continue working together, but that's an extreme case where you have to actually start talking about outboarding yourself. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that middle ground where you like working with this client, they like working with you, but they're starting to muddy the waters because they're bringing in all these additional voices and more people for you to have to design to. Think about it. The bride and the groom, they go for their tasting for the wedding food. They don't bring every wedding guest with them. They don't bring every member of their family to say, what do you think of this hors d'oeuvre? What do you think of this? The bride and the groom go maybe with their parents, and they decide in a tasting what the heck they're going to serve at the wedding, right? So, and that chef can only serve so many masters, right? Or that caterer. So it's kind of the same thing when you're dealing with anything in the creative arts. You need to be a clear decision maker, and you need to be clear on who else is coming in as a decision maker on this project. All righty? So there it is. So if you have any questions about what I've just talked about, or if you have an issue maybe that you're having as a client working with a designer, or as a designer working with a client, have at it. I want to hear from you, and I'm happy to chime in. If you missed any portion of this Instagram live, you can find us no, that's wrong. You can find us on YouTube at The Interior Design Advocate, The Interior Design Advocate on YouTube. And if you're not already following me on Instagram, I've got two great feeds. One is my teaching feed at decorating.genius. That's at decorating.genius. And the other is at IDH Designs. That's at IDH Designs. So this is our last Tuesday together for a while. It's not to say I won't come back out. It's not to say I won't do other events and invite you to them. And you definitely want to be on my mailing list so you know what we're doing and what we're planning. I'm taking a little bit of a break. If you missed that announcement earlier, I've been doing these wonderful Facebook Lives with you for over 3 years, every Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern. It has been wonderful to be of service to you. But we're taking a little bit of a break because of everything that I'm doing in running a very busy, in-demand luxury design company, and also all of the teaching and online work that I do teaching my design community as well. And don't forget, you can always find my online courses if you're looking for some design education. So let's see if anybody has any questions. Susan Hale is saying, I will miss your weekly broadcast. Susan, I will miss you as well. Lori is saying that I'll miss you on Tuesdays. Lori, thank you so much. I'm going to miss you too. And Lisa is saying thank you. So that's awesome. Looks like we're getting hellos and waves. Looks like what we talked about today didn't spark any questions. That's okay. I've gotten some DMs from you guys asking me to talk about this tricky topic. Tonight, I actually have a Zoom call with a bunch of my designers that I'm coaching in my Successful Design Business Academy. And it's an awesome opportunity where we're going to be on Zoom together and I can drill down into their businesses with them to help them build the kind of businesses that they love and love running. Okay, here we go. Dawn Daniels, sad to see you go. You are a unique shining star, not just in the design world, but of the human race. Oh, Dawn, you're such a sweetie pie. Your heart and soul conveyed through the videos. Be well, XXOO. Dawn, you're going to make me cry. So I want you to know I feel the same way back to you guys. You have I said I wasn't going to cry during this broadcast. I'm not gonna. Maybe I'll cry after. You have so touched my lives in being here with me and opening your homes to me and opening your design businesses to me and letting me take you under your wing. It has been a privilege and an honor, and I've just have loved it. So thank you so much, and thank you for sharing so sweetly in your comment, Dawn. I appreciate that. So I'm seeing we'll miss you. I can't read somebody on Instagram with a cool handle, Alec Gal 56. I'll miss you every Tuesday. Alec Gal, I'll miss you too. Make sure you're on my mailing list so that you know what we are doing when we come out. Do maybe another design and wine and design thingy. Who knows? We've got all kinds of interesting things up our sleeve. Carol Ebersol, love you and your entire team. Stay safe. Please let us know when you will be back. Absolutely. And listen, if you love designing with me, you can always check out my my VIP lounge inside of my teaching courses. We've got this monthly meetup we do where we talk about design and your project, and I get to look at your pictures and blah, blah, blah. And it's a pretty low cost little thing to be a part of. So you can check that out as well. Jennifer Gates is saying, Donna, I've taken all of your design courses and I have your ebook. Any plans in the works to do a future design classes? Jennifer, right now, honestly, my design community needs me, and I'm going to be spending a fair amount of time building out the businesses of some incredible designers, people who are just getting into the business, people who've been in the business for a while, designers who have home staging businesses, who have design businesses. Their businesses are going to look really different 6 months from now, and I am so excited and stoked. And so it's a pretty high level, high touch kind of program that we put together. And that is why I'm having to just pull out a little bit of my energy from the teaching that I'm doing on Tuesdays with you in the design loving community as opposed to the design nerd community. But we always have something up our sleeve here. So just let's keep opening our emails, keep opening my newsletter, and you'll see what we're up to, and you'll see when there are new things coming down the pike at you, okay? But thank you so much. And thank you. And Jennifer's adding, I've loved these Tuesdays. You're amazing. Jen, you're amazing too. So thank you so much. Shelley is saying thank you. Susan O'Leary. Oh, Donna, I'm so sad. I'm going to miss you. I always look forward to seeing you. Susan, I have loved having you here in these Facebook Lives and Instagram Lives. So come see us in our courses. Come, my online courses are still there for you. The Facebook groups are still there for you, in those private Facebook groups. And the VIP lounge is still there for you. So there's still other ways for us to connect. Absolutely. Keep reading my emails, keep reading my newsletter, and we'll be there for you in those ways. All right. So I think we did it. Okay, gorgeous lovelies. Okay, gorgeous lovelies on Facebook and my lovelies on Insta. I'm going to miss you. Mwah and mwah. And we'll be in touch. All right. Take care now. Bye-bye. Hi, this is Donna. Thanks so much for watching. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and comment below so I know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe to the Interior Design Advocates channel so you don't miss any of our great content.